If you can't kill a boss, no reason why you can't look like one. Moogle putting the wow in transmogs.
Green and gold kind of works in a great capacity. Shoulder guards of Second Sight. The Nighthold Heroic Tichondrius. 5% on the drop rate for those shoulders from Legion. Moving on to the chest piece, which is going to spin us to vanilla. Knoll War Harness. Red Ridge Mountains. You get them off of Red Ridge Mongrels if you want to round them up and take them out, or just simply buy it on the auction house. Moving on to the belt, which you could pick up from Tomb Sargeras. Looking at LFR version, Kill Jaden, kind of a fair drop rate for the Waistguard of Profane Duplicity. Now for the legs, this is another vanilla piece, Primal Leggings, which means you could also go with the Primal Chest if you want to buy it on the auction house, or if you want to farm it, Sunscale Raptors, round them up, take them out in the Northern Barrens. Moving on to the feet, Stained Maggot Squishers, kind of a weird way to exterminate some unwanted bugs. The hands are the gloves of Second Sight, part of the same tier set as the shoulders. Next up, we're going to move on, do the spin, show the cloak, which is the imbued silkweave cover, Legion level tailoring. Check your local tailor, check your local auction house for that cloak. The tabard spins us to vanilla, Lower City Tabard, Chet Wrath, Lower City Quartermaster, Gold and Rep to pick that up. The headpiece, Helm of Imagined Horrors, Hellfire Citadel, Mythic, Shadow Lord Iskar, 15% on the drop rate. And the weapon is the Plundered Jinyu Longsword, Isle Expeditions. Now we have a shoulder from Legion, PvP vendor, Alliance only, Marks of Honor, to pick up the Cruel Gladiators, Fellskin Spalders. I do believe the Horde version will go as well because it's kind of covered by the Tabard. Anyway, Vest of Vitality, you're looking at Naxxramas 25 man, Lotheb 18% on the drop rate for the chest. The belt is Waistguard of Profane Duplicity. Tuba Sargeras Mythic, Kill Jaden 5% on the drop rate. The legs are also going to be from that same raid drop set from Naxxramas. Felguard Destroyer's leg plates, Naxxramas normal 25 man, 26% on the drop rate for the legs. Moving on to the boots, which I do believe, not 100% sure, but might be Horde only. Seeking Zinjan, Landfall Moccasins, the Jade Forest. Cruel Gladiators Fellskin Gloves, Legion PvP vendor. We're showing the Alliance version, but I do think the Horde version will work with this set as well. Be a little bit different though. I think it'll be a different shading, so you might want to change the headpiece as well. Moving on to the Tabard of the Earthen Ring, Simmering Expanse, Earthen Ring Quartermaster, Gold and Rep to pick that up from Cata. And the headpiece, Headdress of Living Brambles, the Burning Throne LFR. You could go with a different version out of the Burning Throne to get a different headpiece if you hoard and you want to find something that matches your shoulders and gloves. The weapon, Mindbender's Flame Blade. Yes, the shoulders are a tier for monks from Hop, I believe, but you could get a lookalike from Isle Expeditions, or you could buy it on the auction house. You get the whole set, and I think it's worth getting. It's a beautiful set, but we're just using shoulders from this set. Tunic of Unwavering Devotion, Nighthold, Trilliax, 5% on the drop rate for the Demon Hunter tier from, of course, Legion. Moving on to the belt, which is from Cata, Girdle of Fungal Dreams, Dragon Soul, various mobs, or you could buy it on the auction house. Kind of a fair drop rate, but super easy to get there from Cata. The legs are part of the same tier set as the chest, Repulsive Leathery Pants. The Nighthold Zuvius, 8% on the drop rate for, it might be leather pants, leathery pants, it's kind of the same thing. Landfall Leather Boots, Jade Forest, Kundin, and it's a quest reward to pick that up, so that's Alliance only, I do believe, but the Horde version I think goes with that as well. Wrist Wraps of Broken Trust, Emerald Nightmare, you can see the boss, 8% on the drop rate for those bracers. Moving on to the headpiece, Wild Gladiator's Helm. If you hoard, you got to be a warmonger to get those 3 marks of honor. Super easy pickup. And the back piece, Eventide Cape, Storm Song Valley, various mobs, or the auction house. And now we're going to move on to the weapon, which is Plundered, Swarmer's Blade, Isle Expeditions, or the Auction House. I guess this is a mix of a pirate and druid and demon hunter look, but it works. Replica, Wildheart's Boulders, Darkmoon Fair, Barum, he's a vendor. Bring him a beer and 75 Darkmoon tickets, and the shoulders are yours. Moving on to the chest, Remnant of the Blighted Tribe, Waycrest Manor, Garuk Toll, sounds kind of Klingon to me, 8% on the drop rate for the chest. Now the belt, I think, is horde only, not 100% sure. It's from, it's basically your starter kit belt, but you might be able to buy it from the quartermaster in your, I think, Order Hall or maybe the Start Zone of Demon Hunters. Blight Toadskin Leggings, Waycrest Manor, Sister Selena, 5% on the drop rate, part of the same drop set as the chest piece. Moving on to the boots, which are the Warmongering Gladiators Boots of Victory, which of course if you hoard, you gotta go wild, 3 marks of honor. The wrist, Fiendish Logisticins, wrist wraps, the Burning Throne LFR, and the back is the Fell Reaper Drape LFR Burning Throne. To pick that up, doing the spin, and you'll see the cape in a second. The Tabard, if you want to throw one in there, Slayer's Tabard goes really well with this. Illidari Provisioner, gold and rep to pick that up. And the headpiece, Mask of Second Sight, the Nighthold, Elisande, no relation to Melisandre from Game of Thrones. And the weapon, Siege of Orgrimmar, LFR, Amalgam of Corruption. We're going to have to get you to Firelands to pick up the shoulder pads of the Forgotten Gate. Balrog is the boss. 12% is the drop rate for those shoulders. One of my favorite leather shoulders in the game. Moving on, the chest. Pharaoh Leather, Chest Guard, Hellfire Citadel, Mythic. Manaroth is the boss. Kind of a fair drop rate. It's kind of a weird thing with that chest piece as well as the legs. It says Demon Hunter on it and it's wad, but it is real, and you can just go to, I think it's regular version also, and maybe get the drop that's not for rogues or druids, or it's a raid drop set. I believe it's the Iron Pelt drop set. You could go that way also for the legs or chest. There's a couple of lookalikes, but it's all from Hellfire Citadel. It's different versions. Best bet would be to check Wowhead for that. The boots, Hellfire Citadel once again. Boots of Final Salvation, Kilrog Deadeye, 5% on the drop rate. Moving on to the next piece as we spin and show you the cloak, but first the hands, in this case bracers. Bracers of Impossible Choices, the Nighthold, LFR, Elisande, 10% on the drop rate for the bracers. Move back to the Blood Elf dude, Cloak of Certain Reprieve, Netherstorm, BC PvP vendor, 1 mark of honor to pick up the cloak. And the headpiece, Helm of Imagined Horrors, Hellfire Citadel, Shadow Lord Iskar, 12% on the drop rate for the head. And the weapons, Mechanar BC, the Sun Eater is the name. Little bit of brown and gold, I suppose, here. Fellflame Infernal shoulder pads. Yes, that's the monk tier, but that's to recolor for other leather wearers, or you can buy it on the auction house, so that's a good way to go. The chest, I want you guys to go to Wowhead and check it out because there's quite a few lookalikes, but if you want to farm it, Frostfire Ridge, Ragor, Driftstalker, 40% drop rate, worth that effort in Frostfire Ridge. Moving on to the belt, which is Lifeless Buckled Girdle, Emerald Nightmare, LFR, Nithendra, and about a 20% drop rate. So far we got some pretty good drop rates on these pieces. Moving on to the legs, once again, go to Wowhead, many lookalikes, Saber Maw Breeches, Negran, Wad, various, keep in mind that's the Wad version, various mobs or the auction house to pick up the legs. Now we're going to go on to the feet, Ancient Tempest Striders, reminds me of Lord of the Rings, not sure why, Emerald Nightmare, LFR, Emerald Palace, excuse me, Radiance of Ashara, 5% drop rate. The wrist, Sky Valiant's Wrist Guard, Trial of Valor Mythic, Odin, fair drop rate. Say hello to Thor once you go there too. I don't know if he's there, he might be hiding. Moving on to the headpiece, which is the Warmongering Gladiators Helm, WoD PvP vendor. Gotta go wild if you hoard. And the back piece, which is Fetid Horrors Tangle Cloak. which is Uldir Fetid Horror. Yeah, okay. And a weapon, Mandibble of Bethtilic Firelands, regular, decent drop rate. My name is Luxeley. I want to thank everybody for stopping by and leave you with this final thought, whatever it is, by you. Whether it's morning, afternoon, like it is here, or night, make your day epic.